Hi, my name is Chen Hejiang, and my thesis is God design. This project is basically creating new gods in a contemporary context for modern everyday life concerns. In simple words, I am designing the gods. Let me tell you about my inspiration. It came from the experience when I was living in Beijing. I had a car parked outside of my apartment. Almost every morning I went to my car, there will be some bird poops covering my windshield. Those were not easy to be removed. Growing up in a polytheism culture, I was thinking, there is God of love, there is God of wealth, there are gods of a lot of things. Why isn't there a God who can prevent a bird from dropping their poops to my car? Then I came to ITP and took this art toy design class and made this little god who is only in charge of preventing birds' poops falling onto people's vehicles. With new gadgets and tools being invented and upgraded to enhance people's physical life, gods, on the other hand, have not been updated for a rather long time. What if we could create new gods that specifically address modern daily life problems? What I found, I'm not the only one who has this idea. Many new deities have been added into Hinduism these years based on people's needs. They have been very imaginative and pragmatic at the same time. For example, this visa temple in southern India is a very popular temple for people to pray for their visa getting approved. People come to pray for a good result for American work visa lottery as well. I think, well, maybe I got a potential market there. Or maybe the nearest market is that I could make a god for getting better results from course selection lottery for ITP students. So, with all these inspirations, how do I design those gods? I sent out Google Forms asking people what their everyday life small concerns are. Based on all the concerns that I have collected, I started to think about some basic points that I can follow when I design those gods, which is a wireframe. First, most of them address specific problems. They have limited power, focusing on one field, so they are professionals. And then, just like the traditional gods have their weapons, all those gods use familiar objects from everyday life to impose their power, but they use them in a different way. To address a modern aesthetic and being different from the conventional gods icons, they are all illustrated in a simple, playful, and consistent visual style. They mainly address modern life concerns, which the conventional gods might not be good at. Then I created all the gods. Here are some of them, and let's look at some case studies. And if the concern is I worry that someday I won't have anyone to date with, which is actually from my survey. And here is the god of relationship. He is a cloud arcade master. He will grab you and your crush and drop you into love. And it is literally fall in love. And hair loss, which is kind of my concern as well. And here comes the god of hair. He would remote control the drone to sow the seed on your head and make sure your hair will be growing all over your head. He actually has a partner who do the rest of the farming and maintaining. Introducing the goddess of hair farming. This is a typical problem in New York City. Rats in the subway station. And we got god of rats control, who is a traffic controller, and he uses cheese as the roadblock to stop the rats. The next question is, after I designed many numbers of gods, how do I showcase them? I used to work in a museum. I dreamed of showing them in a gallery, but I think I might need a god of money or whatever to achieve that. Then I decided to make them smaller and more accessible to everyone. I put them on cards. So the next question is, how to build a better communication with my audience? Originally, I was thinking about a physical installation. However, due to COVID-19, I was not able to continue working on it. I made a pivot and went on to make a simple interactive website. It is rendered as a God search engine. Because I would like it to be intuitive and familiar, It looks like the typical search engine websites. It is where you input your concern and be returned with a god. I am going to play a demo video here. Upon entering the website, you'll hear the music that I made to make the experience more complete. Input a concern, and then a natural language processing method will process this sentence into keyword and match the keywords with the God's database. At the same time, the keywords will be sent to Runway. There is a GPT-2 model taking the keyword as a prompt and generate a text as what this God has to say to you. You will also see a description of how this God works. Since it's impossible to include everything the user inputs, and I don't have that many gods yet, let's fast forward here. The God of God Searcher will come out when this God is not found, and I will get that request and work on those gods that I didn't have. So that was the website. Here I would like to explain just a little bit about why I was using the machine learning to generate texts. So I was using the Analects of Confucius as the source text. The format of this book is mostly students ask a question and the master, who is Confucius, answers the question. So I add keyword after the master said in the original text as the prompt, and return to the front end as the god of something says something. I just thought that it would be interesting to see how modern problems could be answered by classic philosophy, and the randomness of the generated texts adds some funny absurdity here. Although I was not able to make the physical installation, I would still like to show what it feels like if it was built. It is inspired by mini pop-up shrines within communities, where people could go worship very conveniently in India and Japan. Also, it took some concepts of a fortune-telling room. I would like to combine the vibe of a traditional worship and fortune-telling with the high-tech product aesthetic, not only on the object, but also for the entire experience. This is a rough prototype that I made before the pandemic using cardboard and a small screen. Back to the installation, it is designed as a room experience. You will see this lantern outside of the room as a signboard. Then you enter the room and see this table and this interface, and I will be sit behind that interface manipulating the machine. You also hear the music. You'll be sit there and write one of your everyday life small concerns on this paper. Then inject the paper into the interface. After a while, a God card will be returned through the God's portal. After you got a card, another light will light up, and when you put the card under the light, the God's words and description will be appeared. So that was the installation. I asked people about their feelings towards my gods and the experience. Here are some words: oddly warm, close to heart, whimsical. And if it is really a moment of joy, then I think I have achieved what I wanted to achieve. For the next step, I consider this project as a living project. I will continue designing the gods, and I will be a professional god designer. I might write about designing decisions in creating those gods on the website, also as a gallery page to show all the gods that I've been working on, and improve the accuracy of the machine learning generated texts. Also, I will improve the physical installation by making more iterations on the forms as well as the entire experience. Hopefully, I could make it in a public space someday. I would like to express my sincere thankfulness to my entire thesis class and my thesis advisor Mimi, residents Alden and Ellen for their supporting for the whole semester. And all these people who have inspired me and gave me guidance and helped me along this journey in every aspect. Thank you very much. This is the God of ITP that I created. I think the emptiness also represents the infinite possibilities, which is what I saw from ITP. Great thanks to this ITP community, everyone that I have encountered at this floor. Thank you very much. Finally, just in case of no applause or everybody was muted, I made a god of applause to ensure the cheering. Enjoy your lunch too. Thank you.